Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed my Ghost Rider review. I do have another review of my Deadpool and Wolverine two figures from the newest wave coming out soon. That is still in production. Still currently working on editing that, excuse me. That should be up soon, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. Today we will be having a look at the Marvel Legends Deadpool and Wolverine Deluxe, DogPool, and Deadpool. And wow. So I think we all kind of knew that this figure was going to happen at some point, or Hasbro was going to release it. Here a couple summers ago, on Instagram, I believe it's still up on my Instagram. If not, I might have taken it down. I don't know. Either way, here a couple summers ago, I did, when the movie came out, it was around the fall time, went to the dollar store, picked up like one of those, like, I don't know, it's like a pack of 4 skeletons or whatever, spray painted it silver and used that, and, you know, classic Hasbro fashion, of course, they release an official one. This isn't the first time we've seen stuff like this. If you guys remember the Infinity Saga Ultron figure that came with like the little Ultron parts, very similar to this, and then, you know, the whole skull and thing, that reminds me of the 2021 Supervillains wave, the God Emperor Doom. It came with the Thanos skull and spine, so, you know, and if you've seen my most recent Ghost Rider video, that comes with a little skull. I mean, not attached to anything, of course, but still, nevertheless, we've seen stuff like that before. So anywho, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So obviously Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel Legends, 14+, Hasbro, DogPool, and Deadpool. Mary Poppins right there. Very, again, a lot of accessories, and his katanas, if you can see those right up there, and then the Hulk hands that he uses, if you know, you know, they are right down in there. You just can't see them very great. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So at top, you got a spot varnished Deadpool and Wolverine logo. Flip them to the side, very nice image of Dogpool, Mary Poppins. Flip into the back, here it is. As I said, this is a deluxe figure. There's the rest of the figures in the wave right there, a bunch of legal stuff, Marvel Hasbro again, very nice images. Yeah, it says woof, so stinky. You can see some other stuff. No read up, which is a little weird, but not really. And then flipping there to the side, there's that side again, nice image, product shot or headshot of Mary Poppins Dogpool. And flipping to the bottom, very nice, the friendship pendant bracelet thing. I know some theaters were giving those away, very nice. And here's the UPC and barcode in case it helps anybody. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this guy open and take a closer look. Alrighty, we are back. So before we take a look at the figure, let's take a look at everything he comes with. He does come with a lot. Aside from the hands, we will talk about those two things here in a minute. But other than his hands, he comes with quite a lot of accessories. So, per Deadpool and Wolverine, he does come with the adamantium swords again. This time they're painted in gold, so not a whole lot of difference there. Just pretty much, you know, just kind of new paint apps. Same swords we've seen since the first Deadpool figure was released. When was it? 2016, 2017, something like that. So yeah, they're just in a new sculpt, which, you know, well, not new sculpt, I guess new paint, as I said, so very nice there. Of course, you do get the addition of Baby Knife. Very nice, the gunmetal gray, the silver, it looks really good on there, so I'm really happy with that. And then you can kind of see the serrated edge right there, so very nice. Again, very nice pine apps, looks very good. So, of course, he does come with his 2 gold deagles, which we've seen him use in the movie, so, you know, if you know, you know. But they are painted in the same, well, they're obviously painted gold, but this is the same sculpt as the original ones. And, yeah, this is the same sculpt we've seen before, so nothing new there, just cast it in a different color plastic. And let's go ahead and jump into the hands. So other than those two, which, like I said, we will talk about those, he comes with 8 sets of hands, 2 pairs each. So you get the 2 Wolverine, I guess, tendon hands with the claws, which, again, like I said, we'll talk about that in a minute. You get 2 whipping hands. This is the scene when they were in the, what was it, the Honda Odyssey or whatever. So yeah, there's that. And then as you can see, you know, it's got the whole, Spider-Man whip, and then it's got the gold maintaining on his suit. Of course, you know, comes with 2 gun holding hands, pretty standard stuff for Deadpool, so very nice there. And of course, 2 sword holding hands, two relaxed slash sword holding hands, which we've seen these before many times. So yeah. Also, something else to mention, those are the only set of fist hands he comes with. But I think if you got the other version or want him in a more neutral pose, honestly, I would just use the sword holding hands. So very nice. And again, they all maintain that gold silver stuff that they did. So very nice there. Now, getting on to what I think are the three best accessories in this set. You do get Mary Poppins DogPool, and she looks really good. She looks really good. I like the texture, the belt buckle, the wrinkles you can see, and then the whole, and look at that. They even painted the eyes on that white. Kind of wish it was more black like it was in the movie, but very nice. She's got her little booties on, so very nice. And then just kind of looking at that face sculpt, or I guess the dog's face sculpt. She looks great. You do get a little bit of articulation here, just a little bit with the head, so not a whole lot, but nothing too bad. So, you know, you can have her like, huh, I'm confused, or nope, I'm neutral, you know, so very nice. So that's the only articulation you get on here. Other than that, it's just pretty much just a statue, but again, very nice. And then, of course, one of my second favorite accessory with this, you get the Hulk hands. If you know, you know, but yeah, you get the Hulk hands. But yeah, so if you know, you know, but yeah, so very nice. And I will demonstrate putting these on the figure. They are of a softer material, of a softer caliber, so very nice. And then probably, as I mentioned in the beginning, my personal three favorite accessories with this is you get Wolverine's, is this a femur? His leg or femur? And then you can see the little stuff or whatever, so very nice there. And then you can kind of see the whole, well, where that, or maybe that's his hip. Is that his hip and his leg? It looks like that would attach where the hip would be, but I don't know. Either way, you get this piece, and again, they are of softer material, so it's not going to hurt too much to pose him around, and then you can see the tendon right there. So very nice there. You get one of those. You get one of these, which again are very nice. You can kind of see that, so you get this one as well, and then you can kind of see the whole bone and leg. So very nice. This one is posed like this, so you get these two, and then probably my favorite accessory, you do get the Hugh Jackman skull, and then you can kind of see the still gunk or whatever it is on there, and then the teeth, and then a little bit of the hair, and then the spine. So, and there are a couple areas here where you can see a couple pieces are missing, where obviously DeadPool was probably holding that. So you do get some articulation. You can turn, hinge, you do get some tilt, all that good stuff. It can pop off. Just gently just pop that off, and then if you want to, you know, you could have them using either way. And then just to pop that back on is fairly simple. You just pop it back on just like so. So very nice. Options are great. So there's that. So anywho, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into DeadPool himself. And yeah, he comes with a lot of accessories. So putting all of these on, something else I would like to mention about this guy, his belt. On mine, there's this little clasp piece right here. There is a peg, like a tab under here. You'll kind of have to push that over and back, so you'll feel it lock in, and it just kind of, you know, see, so it just tabs in there. But I mean, honestly, if you wanted it more loose over here, I really don't think it matters. That's how mine came. If anyone else's came like that, please let me know in the comments down below, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, that's how the other one was. It's fluid, so either way, very nice. I believe this is the same sculpt we're seeing. Legs look the same, arms, head, back, obviously. Everything looks pretty much reused of the new tooling of the new DeadPool for the movie, obviously. Again, holsters for the guns, appreciate that. And then these are soft and they're not going to come off, but like I said, we'll talk about those in a minute. Excuse me. But yeah, so honestly, overall, pretty good figure. I'm not going to run through articulation because it's the same sort of body mold we've seen. If you want to see me do an articulation segment on this guy, go check out my Deadpool and Wolverine video, my first one on my channel, so check that out. But yeah, pretty much same sculpt we're seeing. I think the only thing on this guy that's new, other than the accessories and maybe the hands, I think it's the paint. I think the paint's new. This looks more red, as the other one looked a little more like orangish, I guess. So maybe this is more closer to what we saw in the movie. And then I want to say this shoulder joint is also new. He also does have butterflies, so butterfly joint right there as well. So figure I mentioned that, but yeah, overall, not a bad figure. Not a bad figure at all. Just kind of, you know, got the little, I guess they got the butterfly joint there and the new shoulder. So other than that, though, I'm not seeing a whole lot new with this guy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show you how to swap these out. So I would highly recommend heating this up. It will make this so much easier. Turn on some warm water, let it run under the warm water for a second or so. No more, no less, just a second or so. Let that get softened up. So what I do is I extend his arm, and this is connected. And you'll see that little piece right there. Be careful. I would highly recommend doing it over a table so you don't lose this, because this is very small. So what you'll do is, and what I do is very gingerly just twist and pull, just like that. Twist and pull. Okay. Now, that little piece right here is going to be able to open up, as you can see, and then just slide that right on out. Just like so. So then you can put that back in there. So then there it is, because this is attached via one way. So, and then here's obviously his other accessory. It's attached to the fist, hands, obviously, and then that one is a little warped, but that's nothing. Like I said, it's nothing a little warm water couldn't fix, but yeah, very nice. Again, attention to detail, the wrapped tendons here, the way that looks, the claws, you know, Wolverine, it looks great. So very happy to have that. So again, like I said, swapping these out, it should not be that difficult. The only thing as far as swapping it out that I would like to mention is this. So taking a look at this guy, let's go ahead and start with the Hulk hands. So this little piece here, I don't know. According to this guy, it looks like it should go something like that. That looks right, I think. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So, and again, like I said, I would highly recommend doing this over a table. Just, it's right there, so you don't lose that. So then popping in the Hulk hands, obviously, because, you know, the fist is occupied by that. So what I would recommend is I would recommend taking a sword holding hand. Go ahead and just popping that in, and just go ahead and move that back around right where it's at. So very nice there. So he can go ahead and have that for his suit, like I said. And then putting on the Hulk hands ideally should not be too hard. Just take it and I guess go ahead and push it right on in. And there you go, just like that. Now DeadPool can, you know, if you've seen the movie, you know. So yeah, that looks really good, and you know, it's not gonna fall off. So it's on there pretty tightly. So I mean, it sits on there fairly nice. And then, like I said, just taking it off is just a simple twist. So push it in, twist, twist, and then to take it back out, twist, and pull back out. So very nice there. Again, very nice overall. It's pretty good. So yeah, very nice there. Alrighty, so those were the Hulk hands. Let's go ahead and just start putting some of his accessories on him. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the swords. Just take one at a time, go ahead and turn them around. And again, I really do not think it absolutely matters which sheath they go in. There is a certain way, though, so I got to remember if I'm doing this right. Okay, yep, that one I'll just slot right on in there. And then the other one also should just go ahead and slot right on in there. Yep, okay, there we go. And then notice, as the movie, now it's got the gold accents compared to the original one, which didn't. So that already is more movie accurate than the last one, I suppose. So pretty cool there. So yeah, there's that. Let's go ahead and now go ahead and do Baby Knife. Here's Baby Knife. Like I said, I really don't think it matters how it goes in there, at least not as far as I'm aware. That seems to work the way I just did it, and yep, easily pulled out. So there's that. So very nice there. So whoops. But anyway, so yeah, so there's Baby Knife. So now he's already looking better. Let's go ahead and open up his arms. Let's go ahead and grab his deagles. There's one of them. You just holster them. They just get holstered right here. So yeah, there's one, and then the other one can just go ahead and get holstered right there as well, just like the original one. And again, these are soft material. They're made of that same soft material, so they'll just stay holstered right in there, and you can shake them and it's not going to fall out, which is great. And then the holding accessories. Now, that's interesting because he does have Wolverine's skull, or the adamantium skull and spine. And also, before I forget, I do want to mention this. In the intro, I did say the Infinity Saga Ultron figure. I meant to say the Infinity Saga Quicksilver figure. It came with the Ultron parts, which is what I was referring to. Sorry if that caused any confusion. But yeah, so looking at this, again, like I said, we'd talk about it. Very nice. Again, material, you can see a little marbling there, but that's not too bad. And so yeah, it looks great. Now, if you want him to hold it, you could use the sword holding hands, but I don't know if I would, because those are posed a certain way for the swords. I don't even think, yeah, you can't even move his, you can't even move that thumb. That's glued in there. That's like permanently fixed to his hand. So what I would do is I would use the gun holding hands. So let me see if I can do that real quick. There's the armband on, and then I'm guessing right here is probably where he'd grab it. So just, I guess, gingerly bend the thumb back and kind of, I don't know, something like that. Oops. Appears I didn't have it in there the best. Let me see if I can go ahead and get that in there again. I can just get that in there. There we go. I'd go up a little bit more just so he has more room for it. So now if you wanted him going after the TVA like he was in the original, like, I don't know, you could do something like this. Like he's going after the TVA or something. Very nice. And kind of like I had mentioned at the very beginning, I don't plan on going over articulation with this guy because it is exactly the same as the other one. And I did check the other one as well. That little clasp thing right here, that is also present on the other one as well. So it's not just this one, it was also on my original copy, the first wave that was released. So that's pretty good there. So, but yeah. So this guy came pretty packed, pretty loaded with a lot of good stuff. And honestly, for the price of what you get, I feel like, honestly, this is probably the Marvel Legends version of a Maximum DeadPool, if that makes sense. It's not bad per se, it's just the Maximum version I originally had no interest in. Not because it's not cool, I mean, it's very cool, it's just I personally didn't really care for the Maximum version. So I would say if you don't want to get the Maximum version, the comic Deadpool, and you wanted a more movie Deadpool, or I guess Maximum movie Deadpool, then I would go with this one. Again, great accessories, pretty decent price, all in all, really good. So let's go ahead and jump into some comparisons. Let's go ahead and just start off with the original Deadpool. This one came from the first wave. As you can see, the black deagles and then no paint on the swords. So, and if you look exactly the same sculpt, the reds do look a little different, though. I did mention that, or maybe it's just my lighting. I don't know. Do you guys think the reds look different? If so, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, so overall, it's the same. And then even on this one, even on the original one, there's a little clasp. So yeah, this one has the clasp. They both do. Arms are the same. Heads are the same. Other than the paint and the deagles, everything else seems to be pretty much the same. It's the exact same figure, exact same sculpt. So very nice there. You know, you have the original one, and then you have this one. Honestly, if you missed out on this one the first time, you're not really missing anything other than, I guess, the deagles, the normal deagles. But honestly, I mean, if you have both, sweet. If you just have one, sweet. If you have this one, sweet. But yeah, honestly, in my personal opinion, if you want to get both. But if not, I think this one would do just fine. So there's that. Like I said, there they are side by side. Pretty much, they are the exact same figure, literally. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and move him off to the side. For another comparison, we'll go ahead and bring in the original Wolverine. I do have the Hugh Jackman head sculpt on right now. Again, this is such a great figure, one of my favorite figures of all time. And I will address the claws here when I compare to the other one, which we will talk about that in a second. But if you guys have picked up the X-Men 97 Wolverine figure, I just found this out the other day. A friend of mine mentioned to me that it's like, well, why don't we ever see him unmasked in the movie? Because we see him pull his cowl up. It's like, well, where would that be? What happens at the X-Men 97 Wolverine comes with a downwards cowl piece, which I've just incorporated on here because honestly, I think that looks really cool. So that way you can see it's got the downward cowl, and it's the same, and it just happens to be within the same yellow, so it doesn't really take away from much. But yeah, here's the other Wolverine. Here's the first wave Wolverine compared to the new Deadpool, if I can get him to stand. So there's that. Very nice comparison there. Go ahead and set him off to the side as well. And let's go ahead and bring in the new battle damaged version. Keep an eye out for that video. It should be up soon. So we might as well also go ahead and compare these two as well. Here's the first release and then the newest one out of the newest wave. Obviously, you can see the battle damage, and then the head sculpts, which I can actually... Here's the original head sculpt for this one, and you can see the masks are exactly the same. So very nice there. The masks are exactly the same. That one's just dirtier, and I guess it's a little more flayed out, I guess. So very nice there. Obviously, you get the arms, very nice, and then there's another cut right there. Right there, very nice. So, again, watch out for this review. It should be dropping soon, hopefully. But yeah, so very nice. Again, and even with this figure, same sculpt, same everything. Obviously, the arms are different, but the hands, this is something I will address in that video, but I also want to address it here. The claws are different. They're the same claw, but these are more gunmetal gray, whereas these are more silver. My camera will pick up on that. Yeah, there we go. So, and they're more splayed out as well. So, they're the differences between the two. But yeah, very nice, nevertheless. So, there's that. And then, of course, two other comparisons I would also like to bring in is, here's Blade. Wesley Snipes' Blade. Such an amazing figure. Again, that'll be in a video with Logan or Wolverine over there, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so there's Wesley Snipes' Blade. Again, review coming soon. But yeah, so there's his comparison to Deadpool. He does not want to stand. No, he does not want to stand. But yeah, so there is a comparison of those, of all the Deadpool and Wolverine movie figures I have thus far. I will be doing another comparison of DogPool and a couple other members. I'll do that here in a quick second. But yeah, there's that. And then just to go ahead, let me see if I can scoot these guys down just a little bit more here. Scoot Wolverine down, if I can scoot Deadpool down, if I can scoot Blade down. Move Blade over here. Move one over. There we go. And then for my last comparison, I want to bring him in. Yeah, so taking a look, here's the Ghost Rider we've previously had a look at. His chain's kind of droopy, but I can always fix that. So there's a Ghost Rider we previously had a look at, and there he is for Deadpool. We were supposed to see, originally, I think Ryan Reynolds wanted to see Nick Cage in Deadpool and Wolverine, but it never ended up happening. So, but yeah, there's what all my recent figures comparisons look like. So there are those. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the DogPool comparisons now. And yeah. Alrighty, we are back. And as you guys can see, there is Mary Poppins, DogPool next to Deadpool. So very nice. I know I talked about her a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and give everyone else another comparison. So here's Mary Poppins, DogPool, next compared to Deadpool, obviously. To add another member of the Deadpool core, here is Headpool that came with Logan. So this is what he looks like when he's on his stand. Very nice there. And then if I do this, pop this, take him off the stand, that's what he looks like off the stand. I don't think he's going to balance great. Okay, well, there he goes. So there's DeadPool. I'm typically probably going to keep him on his stand. But yeah, so I'll leave DeadPool right over here. And then for a quick comparison of another animal, here is Bats the Basset Hound from the Amazon exclusive Wong and Doctor Strange 2-pack. He's cast in this translucent plastic. Such a great figure. No articulation on Bats, but either way, pretty cool. So here's Bats with Mary Poppins. If you want to do some Pet Avengers thing, you could just slowly start to fill that roster. I'm sure there are other, I know the Marvel Legends, we just got revealed Jeff the Land Shark and Venom 2-pack, the Gamerverse, for Marvel Rivals. So I guess you could add Jeff to that roster if you're trying to build out your Pet Avengers. And then here's what Bats looks like off of his stand next to Mary Poppins. So there's that. But yeah, overall, I think out of all the comparisons and this figure in general, I think it's honestly, it's really great. And furthering that, this figure has so much potential. It's great. It truly, it's great. Like I said, the only other thing that I would be very mindful of, and I'm gonna talk about this one more time, are these. These are the only fist hands he comes with, and they are just on here. They are just attached to here. These extra tendon pieces, and thank goodness they are of softer material, softer plastic. So yeah, so that one's a little warped. I'm sure I could fix that with some warm water or something. But yeah, so that's the only other thing I would say is be mindful of the armband and be mindful of these when you're taking these off, because he does come with these in the package. So just be very mindful of that. But yeah, other than that, overall, I really enjoyed getting this new DeadPool figure. I mean, I understand it's the same one we've already gotten with a couple updates. I mean, you get some new hands. I mean, we get some new hands, we get some new accessories which, honestly, they probably could have thrown in with the first one, but I get it, make a deluxe and then just shoot all the accessories in there. But yeah, either way, though, I'm still really happy with this figure. I'm happy with all the accessories and how it turned out, so yeah. But yeah, overall, great figure. Well, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed my review on this guy. Stay tuned. I do have another review coming up soon. Something special is in the works for that, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I am going to try to be posting more frequently. I apologize. I've just been busy, so that's why I haven't been posting as much. But yeah, so again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will catch you all in the next one.